Hello and welcome back to Forza Horizon 3. Yeah, this time we're back with the Alpinestar's car pack. Last month we had the Smoking Tyres car pack that gave us a handful of fantastically good cars, including the Aston Martin Vulcan and the Pagani Huayra BC, an S2 class car that achieves a lap time of 55.4 seconds around our test track. The test track in question, if you are new to this series, is the Outback Highway Circuit. Now the reason I chose this track is because of the amount of different components that it has. It's got long straights with chicanes in them, meaning that the cars are going to be not only tested for their top speed, but also abilities to turn at high speed. There are sharp left-hand turns, there are sharp right-hand turns, and most importantly, there are elevation changes, which will undergo the car's suspension, see how good they can go at turning not only at high speeds, uphill, downhill, in a straight line. It's going to really, I think, put the car to the test. But anyway, that's enough of the track. Let's get on with our first car, which is the last place car, which is the D-Class 1979 Talbot Lotus Sunbeam. Yes, this is a pretty solid D-Class car, achieving a lap time of 1 minute 27.5. It's rear-wheel drive, I believe, and it does have a little bit of understeer if you are a bit of a moron with it, which is what I may have been. But yeah, I'm pushing all these cars as best as I can around these tracks. If you guys were to drive them, they may be slightly different lap times, but I doubt they'd vary that much. Yeah, it's a pretty decent D-Class car. It's a high D-Class car. It's borderline C-Class, so with a few upgrades on this thing, this would be a pretty good low C-Class car. But if you were to, for some reason, race in a D-Class car race, this is a pretty good shout for you to go in. Next up, we have the 1967 C-Class Ford Falcon XR GT. I really like this car. It achieved a lap time of 1 minute 23.3, and to put that into comparison, last month, the 2010 Ford Crown Vic Police Interceptor achieved a lap time of 1 minute 20.5, so it's give or take 3 seconds a lap slower. But I prefer this, if anything. It's just so much more bulbous and just floaty. It just like sways from side to side when it goes in the corner. It is literally like driving a boat. And around a track it's not the best, admittedly, but this car's just got so much character. It's so much fun to drive, and I really like that with the vehicle. Whilst it may not be the fastest C-Class car, heck, I think it's one of the slowest, if I'm going to be honest here. It's just fun to drive, and I like that. I know obviously if you're going to be racing with this, which is what this series is mainly aimed about, it's seeing what cars are the fastest around this track, but I like this car. It's a pretty good underdog. I'm pretty sure with a few upgrades and sharper and stiffer suspension, it could actually completely eliminate the whole willowy boatiness that it has when going around a turn. Next up is the 1990s C-Class Mazda RX7. It achieved a lap time of 1 minute 18.5 around the track, and it was pretty decent to drive. It's a pretty solid C-Class Japanese car, and it's not the best like this, but the reason why this car shines so much in this DLC is purely because of the upgrades that people can add to it. It's a fantastic drifting car and showboating car. This is where the car doesn't really shine on a track, but it can do it. That's the thing. This thing can drive around a track, and it's pretty decent. However, the real limelight that this car deserves is, well, being modified with big spoilers and massive body panels that are way too big for anyone to put on a car, but that's where this car really shines. But it can, however, drive around a track with a mid-C-Class time of 1 minute 18.5. But if you think upgrades were good on the Mazda RX7, the Nissan Silvia K steals the show. Not only that, this is a high C-Class car, and it did a pretty good job with a lap time of 1 minute 16.9. That's only 3 seconds slower than the 2000 Lotus 340R that we had last month, that I believe is a B-Class. So that's pretty good. Not only that, it's not just good around a track, but this thing really shines, much like the RX7, when you add body modifications to it. The body kit on this thing is outstanding. It is very, very pretty with the body kit on, and I'm pretty sure a lot of people will be applying the body kit to it when they get it. But nonetheless, whilst the car may be good with upgrades, this, as a standalone C-Class car, gets a pretty good time with 1 minute 16.9. Now we're moving on to the rather faster, sportier cars, this being the BMW M4 GTS. It achieved a lap time of 1 minute 4 seconds 0.7, and it's okay. Last month the BMW M2 Coupe was drifting about everywhere. And this is kind of like the M2 Coupe on quite a lot of acid. It's got a big spoiler on the back which provides downforce, but at the same time, it kind of does slide about. I mean, I am a bit of a moron with the throttle, I'll admit, but this is much more of a track-bred car than what the M2 was last month. This got a very, very good lap time and is predominantly a track-based car, and you can feel out the way that it drives around the turn. It's got very sharp brakes, stiff suspension. Around the elevation turns, it handled those like a pro. Again, the spoiler provided a lot more downforce, meaning it could carry a lot more speed around the turns, and it achieved a pretty solid lap time. However, it was pipped at the post by the 2016 S-Class Acura NSX. I was so happy when Honda announced that they were going to be bringing back the NSX. I adore this car. It got a lap time of 1 minute 3.8, so just under a second or so less than the BMW GTS, which I'm not too bothered about. I would have loved this car either way, but I can feel that little bit more smug that it did get a faster lap time. Again, that's just with me driving it. I'm sure if someone else was to drive it, it probably could get a faster lap time than what I got. And I'm pretty sure that if someone else was driving the BMW, it would also probably beat the Acura. But nonetheless, this is a very good track-based car. Don't forget that. It is really, really grippy. Got solid grip around the turns. And it's got some pretty decent straight line speed as well. So don't mess with this thing. However, to no surprise, the Americans trump, no pun intended, this month's DLC. Yes, the 2016 S2 Class Dodge Viper ACR is our fastest car of the bunch, with a lap time of 59.9 seconds, and I'm kind of sorry about that, because the issue that I have with this car, whilst it may have a huge spoiler on the back, which offers monumental amounts of grip around the turns, the turn that I'm coming up to now, usually cars can carry about 80 miles an hour or so around it. This could carry just over 90-ish, nearly 100 miles an hour, purely because of the downforce that spoiler provides at the rear end. But the reason it didn't get any quicker than 59.9 seconds is because of the speed issue that it has. Because that spoiler is so big and provides so much downforce, it really impacts on the top speed that this vehicle has. Last month we had the Aston Martin Vulcan and the Pagani Huayra that achieved lap times of 57 and 55.4 seconds. This just got under a minute, which is really disappointing for an S2 class car. But that's the way the cookie crumbles, I'm afraid. It is still, nonetheless, a fantastic car to drive. Do not get me wrong with that. But there we go, guys. That's pretty much it for this month's DLC. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to leave a like. Also, please be sure to leave a comment in the description down below on what you think your favourite car was of this video. So, just to put it into perspective, this month we got a 59.9 second lap time, which is at the moment the 4th fastest car in all of the DLCs. The top 3 fastest cars at the moment is the Pagani Zonda Huayra BC, Aston Martin Vulcan, and that GTA Spano thing, that horrible looking thing. So there we go. At the moment, if you want the fastest cars, buy the first DLC. But if you want the best cars, I'd probably still buy the first DLC. But nonetheless, this second DLC is still a really good one, and I would recommend it to you. But on that bombshell, guys, it's time for me to end the video. Now, I should quickly apologise for the inactivity on the channel. I am at university now, and it's taking quite a lot of time off me. I am trying to make content for you guys. Don't worry about that. An original car show is in the works. Please just be patient about that. I've got so much work to do, but I promise you something is in the works and is on the way. But anyway, until next time, guys, adios.